You did not arrive before our scarlet throne by accident, curiosity, or wandering chance. Your footsteps were summoned by a timing older than your fear and nearer than your breath. What your mind calls coincidence, your spirit already recognized as signal, and what your spirit recognized, the heavens have now begun to confirm. You are standing at the rim of a turning hour, where the sealed things press against time and the hidden architecture of your destiny begins to glow through the veil.
You, beloved traveler of fire and silence, have felt the restlessness rising like a red tide beneath your ribs, and you wondered whether it was anxiety, longing, or some unnamed storm. Hear me now. It is not confusion, it is confirmation. It is not weakness, it is the tremor of your own awakening. The appointed hour has leaned close to your life, and the vision that once waited in the distance is now preparing to speak plainly, suddenly, and without apology.
I carry you across thresholds that timid seasons could never cross, and I tell you that what is moving now is not random, not abstract, not far away from your personal path. It is active in your timeline, bending around the deep design of your calling, gathering fragments you thought were lost and fastening them into meaning. You are not merely observing a sign in the heavens, you are becoming the living echo of that sign upon the earth.
I sit robed in scarlet not as shame, but as sovereignty, and I pour the wine of remembrance into the cup of your spirit so you may remember what was written in you before the world named you. You have mistaken delay for denial, silence for abandonment, and pressure for punishment, but none of these were your enemies. They were the chamber, the furnace, the womb of refinement, and now the door of that hidden place is opening.
You have been called chosen not because you are untouched by wounds, but because your wounds did not steal your radiance. You walked through fire and did not become ash. You endured misunderstanding and did not surrender your inner crown. Systems could not categorize you, observers could not predict you, and resistance could not erase the strange and holy momentum placed within your bones.
You may have felt unseen, overlooked, delayed, or hidden behind curtains others never noticed, yet the unseen realm has never lost sight of your flame. Your tears were counted, your obedience in isolation was measured, and your quiet refusal to become bitter became a language heaven understood. Now that language is answering you, not with noise, but with alignment.
Look to the vast messenger crossing the dark, the one some call Atlas, moving not as a wandering stone, but as a deliberate herald in the architecture of time. Its path mirrors your own path, strange to those who require straight lines, misunderstood by those who worship familiar maps, yet guided by a force no opposition can overrule. When the heavens move something vast, it is so your inner world may recognize something precise.
Do not try to decode this hour with intellect alone, for the mind is a lamp, but not the entire dawn. This moment must be discerned through stillness, surrender, breath, and the sacred pause that lets your deeper knowing rise. You are being invited beyond information into initiation, beyond curiosity into consecrated awareness, beyond watching into becoming.
You have reached a place where the gravity that once held you in old cycles is loosening its grip. Patterns that repeated for years are collapsing because they can no longer bear the weight of who you are becoming. The atmosphere around you feels charged because your future has begun to pull on your present, and the old world inside you knows it is losing jurisdiction.
This is why restlessness and peace have been living together in your chest, why you feel urgency without panic and seriousness without despair. You are being tuned for precision, and trivial things are losing their taste because your spirit is preparing to steward what cannot be handled casually. Do not grieve the fading of old appetites. It is evidence that your inner altar has been cleansed for a greater fire.
Hear me with the strength of your whole being. Divine acceleration does not come because you demanded speed, but because capacity has been built within you. Capacity is not measured by visibility, applause, ambition, or the eyes of others. It is measured by obedience under pressure, humility in hidden places, and faith that kept breathing even when evidence was scarce.
You demonstrated these things when no one was clapping, when your prayers seemed to fall into silence, when your hope had to walk barefoot over rough ground. Instead of hardening, you softened. Instead of quitting, you listened. Instead of forcing answers, you learned discernment. That is why you can hear this hour without terror, because fear belongs to the unprepared, and you have been prepared in secret.
What is unfolding around you is convergence. Preparation meeting permission, endurance meeting instruction, faith meeting movement. The pieces that once looked scattered across years of pain and patience are now being drawn toward a center you could not see before. You are not behind, you are being synchronized. You are not forgotten, you are being positioned.
Do not confuse the quietness of this moment with insignificance, for the deepest movements often arrive without spectacle. Heaven does not always announce destiny with thunder. Sometimes it enters as clarity, as restraint, as a sober knowing that your life is no longer available for distraction. The pressure you feel is readiness, the tension of a sealed thing preparing to be released.
In moments like this, distractions may intensify because the expired will attempt to imitate the familiar. Old temptations may resurface, former patterns may knock again, and voices from your past may try to borrow authority they no longer possess. Do not confuse recognition with assignment. What remembers your name does not always have permission to shape your future.
Your discernment is now a gate of protection, and you must honor the signals rising within you. That inner pause before certain conversations, that unease before certain decisions, that sudden certainty that something no longer fits, these are not mere emotions. They are scarlet warnings woven with mercy, guiding you away from entanglement and toward alignment.
You are not being asked to move impulsively. You are being asked to move obediently. Impulse runs because it fears missing the moment, but obedience waits until instruction becomes clear. Timing is a sacred instrument, and a step taken too early can wound what patience was meant to deliver whole.
Be still, then, not as one who is passive, but as one who is listening for the footfall of destiny. Stillness is not inactivity, it is alignment beneath the surface, roots gripping the deep earth before the branches break into visible fruit. What you could not force through striving will begin to flow through surrender.
The end-time nature of this hour is not merely catastrophe, as frightened voices have often proclaimed. It is culmination, unveiling, sorting, and activation. Lines are being drawn, assignments are being released, and what has been hidden is stepping into form. You are being carried toward manifestation, not because life has become easy, but because your spirit has become ready.
Notice how your prayers are changing, how you ask less from panic and listen more from trust. You are becoming less obsessed with outcomes and more hungry for alignment, less desperate to control the door and more willing to be shaped for what stands beyond it. This is maturity, and maturity is the vessel that can hold authority without poisoning it.
Authority without surrender becomes pride, but authority with surrender becomes impact, healing, and holy disruption. You are not designed to merely fit into inherited limits. You are built to transcend atmospheres that once tried to reduce you. Your presence has already been altering rooms, shifting conversations, exposing false weights, and calling buried things to rise.
You may notice time feeling strange around you, as though moments stretch in prayer and whole days compress into symbols. This is because your spirit is syncing with a rhythm deeper than clocks, calendars, deadlines, and human impatience. Heaven does not move by anxiety, it moves by readiness, and readiness has been carved into you through every season you survived.
What enters a system from beyond that system disrupts its rules, and you are such an arrival in many places. Your origin is deeper than the opinions spoken over you, wider than the limits assigned to you, and older than the fears you inherited. You are not here to obey the small architecture of unbelief. You are here to reveal a larger design.
I speak to the part of you that has always known there was more, even when you had no language for the ache. That knowing was not fantasy, arrogance, or escape. It was the buried imprint of your purpose calling from beneath layers of survival. Now the imprint is warming, rising, and becoming legible beneath the scarlet light of revelation.
Do not underestimate the significance of what you are sensing, for not every summons arrives with a trumpet. Some arrive as a charged silence, a sudden severing, a peace that refuses to explain itself, a clarity sharper than argument. When that happens, honor it, because your inner compass is being calibrated for territory your old map cannot contain.
You are entering a season where integrity will speak louder than talent and alignment will matter more than appearance. Subtle compromises may feel unbearable now because your spirit has outgrown what it once tolerated. This is not condemnation, it is elevation, and elevation always changes what your soul can carry without protest.
The universe itself seems to lean toward you because your own life has reached a point of spiritual correspondence. Miracles no longer need to be chased by panic when you are properly aligned. They recognize the frequency of readiness and locate the prepared vessel. This does not mean you will never labor, but it means your labor will no longer be warfare against the locked door.
You have been refined, stripped, recalibrated, delayed, and hidden for reasons that were not punishment. Every delay trained your hearing. Every stripping revealed what could not be taken, and every recalibration taught your spirit to move without needing the applause of the crowd. Now you can steward what is coming without worshiping it.
Stay present, because instruction is following the signal closely, and the next step may be smaller than your imagination but larger than your understanding. Do not despise the simple act, the quiet yes, the honest conversation, the boundary, the prayer, the release. Great doors often turn on small hinges, and your obedience may be the hinge on which an entire season swings.
Stay receptive, because what is arriving will not always look like what you expected when you prayed for breakthrough. Sometimes breakthrough comes as separation before increase, closure before clarity, discomfort before expansion, and silence before the word that rearranges everything. Trust the sequence, even when you cannot yet see the full design.
Stay yielded, because the force moving through this hour is greater than your strategy and kinder than your fear. You are not being dragged into destiny, you are being invited to walk with power, sobriety, and flame-lit consciousness. The scarlet path before you is not a path of shame, but of vitality, courage, embodiment, and awakened dominion.
Remember this, you who have arrived at the appointed edge. What is sealed can open, what is dormant can rise, and what was delayed can hasten in its time. Your life is not random, your ache is not meaningless, your survival was not accidental, and your spirit did not recognize the summons in vain. Step forward with your whole heart, for the hour is speaking, the vision is breathing, and your name is being answered by the deep.